Signature Morning, Signature TV. And of course, moving ahead to our next segment, we have an interview talking about Labour demands reversal of pump price. You wouldn't want to miss this particular discussion. And we have right in the studio, Comrade Barrister Fabian Wibo. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, dear.
How are you doing this morning?
I'm great. And you?
I'm okay.
You can see it. Belinda.
Yeah, how is the pump price? Is it affecting your side while you came here?
I think you know the answer as well.
No, but we'd like to hear from
Because
you.
I know you don't live in this studio.
No, we don't.
It's not funny. Honestly, it's not funny. Nigerians, they wouldn't pray to have a government like the present government. Nobody. In fact, we wouldn't pray for our enemies to have this kind of government. Not to talk of any rational person to enjoy or to go through the hurdles Nigerians are going through today. You wake up every morning, you are ambushed. Since 29th of May 2023, this country have not had peace. An average Nigerian has been in one problem or the other, occasioned by the policies of the present government. So it's not funny, it's not funny. You call anybody to say, Ross, good morning, he's telling you, I bought fuel 1,200. They say, where are you? I can't come out, so there's no fuel in my car. I was talking to somebody this morning, say, who would take my car for what? You will take the car, know what to say, do what with my car? There's no fuel in the car, and I'm sure the person that wants to see cannot fuel the car. So it's a very bad one.
We usually have a guest who likes to say that there is no longer middle class in Nigeria. We only have the low class and the rich.
It's not even the low class. Those are the basement, and then the rich. If you talk about low, you be glorified.
Still, yes, low still has it.
So those are the basement, downtrodden, and then the topmost. Those are the.
How do you think these people would survive having to see the increments in fuel? Because fuel affects everything, obviously. So how do you think people like that, the basement, will survive?
That's what I'm saying. And unfortunately, over 70% of Nigerians are within that region. Over 70% of Nigerians are within that region. So that's why I say that the country seems to be on fire. People are suffering. People are suffering. If you tell the quantum of cost I receive every day for assistance, you don't even know that the person they are calling for assistance
needs assistance.
Too. So it's so pathetic. It's so pathetic.
But has the government responded to the NLC's request to drop down the fuel price?
It's not even the issue of. Presently, I'm not aware of anyone.
Okay.
But this present government responding to anything is as good as not responding, because they will not do it. Since 2023 October, we had a lot of agreements with them. None has been implemented. So even if they are telling us we want to do it, you don't even need to tell us you want. So you start doing it. If you think Nigerians are suffering, if you think you have seen that, no, this is a very poor decision we have taken, you quickly go back. You don't need to wait and tell us, I will. The worst with this country today is that someone is sick, you're in the hospital, there are no doctors, no nurses, nobody. You're just watching the time taking for you to go. Nothing's happening. We can't say maybe the price have risen today as a result of this. By tomorrow, it will be this. No such calculations. Nothing on grounds. We just wake up after taking their coffee. They wake up and say, well, are they still alive?
Let's do something to this.
Let's shake the country.
I think that's the area. I mean, the level we found ourselves today. So we may be surprised. You're talking like people have said anything. Maybe surprised by tomorrow morning, the man will, just like you said, before subsidy is gone. He will now say that our lifespan should be 30 years. If you find out you're above 30, like during the time of Christ, remove the person. It's possible. I'm telling you, nothing is impossible in Nigeria again.
But are there alternative solutions, the Labour is proposing to curb this fuel hike?
For now, we've not had our meeting. Normally, when this type of thing happens, a NEC is convened. So when the NEC is convened, that's where we take decisions. If I tell you NSC is planning this, I may not be right, because I'm not NSC per se. I'm NSC to the extent of the chairman in Enugu State. We have a president, we have a secretary, we have all manner of positions people are occupying. And then 36 states plus Abuja chairpersons. So we have to come together, the CWC, the NEC, and so on, and then look at the situation, analyze it, and take a common stand.
Are there plans that you guys are going to come together?
Of course. Of course.
Okay.
It's natural. I'm pretty sure that within 48 hours, we may have at worst a virtual NEC.
So the newspaper carried it today, that's Daily Trust, that from the presidency, office of the presidency, that this fuel hike was not discussed as part of the minimum wage package. I mean, NLC just struggled to win that minimum wage fight, and it was even a battle of having from 250 down to 70,000 naira. Do you think that this government, why do you think that transparency is a problem in this government?
I think I love the word you just used, that transparency is a problem with this government. You have just responded to your question. Actually, that negotiation was going on. At the last part of the discussions, Mr. President said it, and the records are there, that if my hands are tied, if you want 250, allow me to sell for 152,025, and you have your 250. And the negotiation committee from the labor side said, Mr. President, you have to come back. If you remember that time in July, after that Thursday, they adjourned for another Thursday. And that second Thursday was when the decision was taken, the last decision was taken. So why the adjourn was because of this question. You mean you want 250? Okay, allow me to sell for whatever I want to sell and I'll give you 250. And Labour said, okay, we are just representatives, we have to go. And they came back and invited NEC. You said, how do you mean? How about average Nigerians? How about the SMEs, small and medium enterprises? Yes. So how would they survive? If a vulcanizer in the street will buy fuel at 2,000 naira later, then to pump a tire will be 2,000, definitely. Then a family that with even a car and probably on school run had flat tire. Unfortunately, 2 of them. It's bad. Of course, tires are going to be bad this time. Yes. But people will run until they get to the rim because of the harshness of the economy. And you are charged 4,000 to pump your tire. How do you go about it? So we put a lot of this together and said, this one is, how do they say it? Someone standing between the devil and the deep Red Sea and something like that. So if we say, give us 250 and sell for whatever you like, Nigerians, they are finished. If you say, don't sell fuel, and these people will say, we have compromised. But I think that one is better than punishing the entire Nigerians. So we all agree that instead of continuing with the process of increasing fuel beyond affordable range, let fuel remain at what it was then. Why we take 70,000? He was even saying 62,000. So it was when Labour said, you know, this is not, we can't accept this, that he moved up to 70 and said that unless you want me to increase fuel price, there's nothing I can do again. We say we don't want you to increase fuel price any longer. Give us 70,000.
But what are the...
Then, but this morning I was reading one Abdulaziz, who said he's the print media, as a special advisor, whatever. Yes. So, but Nigerians, if you are not in that part of the world, the political class, you know, where you be biased. Of course, if you're there, you're biased. He who pays the piper dictates the tone. What do you expect him to say? To come and say, yes, that was what we did, though. That was their... No, they will always, just like the police, when they send him an invite when they came to our office, at the national office, at first time, they tried to deny it. When they find out that denying will be, they came back and said, yes, we did it. We were looking for a rat. A rat we were looking for was there from morning to evening. You didn't come to look for the rat until the rat has gone home. And you came to look for the rat. So all these things are lies upon lies, series of lies. One thing about lies is that lie begets lies. Once you start lying, change your name.
So what are the potential economic consequences of reversing pump price on government revenue right now and subsidiary allocations?
Reversing the
pump price.
What do you think is the economic challenge? There's no challenge. I've told you that this people's system, they have no ideas, they have no plans. I think when they were contesting for elections, they think that you come in to government And you have teacups like this, Signature TV, teacups, which I don't know where I have finished the tea. So what you do is just come in, the teacups are there, the tea is served, and you continue to marry. They don't know that there are other side of government. It's not what you do when you are planning to come in, it's what you see when you come in. It's happening to everybody. So when you come in and you're not ready, what's happening to this? So they have no ideas at all about government. That's the way I understand it. So, and I told you initially that since this government came in, and they continue to announce increase, removal of fuel subsidy. This one is gone, that one is gone.
I like the way your voice gets deep when you want to say that thing.
I try to repeat it because this way it sounds in me. Fuel subsidy is gone, and it is gone. Fuel moved from 185 naira to 550 naira. The same day that fuel subsidy was gone. If they say reverse, fuel, it will be difficult to reverse. So what I'm trying to say is that there's no challenge at all that led to this increase. If there are any, why are you doing it secretly? You are ruling people. They are not animals. Come to Mr. President should talk to us, or the group managing director of NNPC, and said, because of the fact that dollar have increased in the fuel we're digging. In fact, our soils, the dollar price of our soils have changed. We now want to change the price of the crude that they refine. That now fuel is going to be this. We don't hear all these things. People will sit over a tea break, coffee, and then say whatever they like. Because that 29th May ambush was a test run. They did that and it worked, and they say, so you can just wake up and say it's gone, and it's gone. You say it's increased, and it is increased. And that's the practice they have been using. That's what they have been using, and it's working for them.
Let's talk about NNPC a little bit and Dangote. Of course, when Dangote came and finally said, I can now start rolling out fuel, everybody was happy about it. At least, okay, fine, we now have our own refinery. We don't have to take it outside. It was going to be cheaper. Why do you think it's now higher? Do you think it's high because it's with Dangote? I don't understand. I want to understand, and I'm sure everybody watching wants to understand why it's now higher when it's from our domot, like our backyard.
You know, there are a lot of stories about what is happening there. In fact, our oil sector is now becoming a mystery, big mystery. Well, if I say elephants that people draw from the part they see, the side they see, I think that may describe it better. Because before now, we're told that they have sold all our oils to the Chinese, such that they now determine how much we sell our crude, how much we get in our refined products. Today, they say Dangote cannot source from within. It has to source from outside. Is it not an aberration? So a lot of mystery around the oil sector. We don't know which is which. And nobody's talking to Nigerians. Even when they were saying the subsidy is too high, nobody have ever told Nigerians that this is how much we spend on subsidy. Nobody have ever told Nigerians that it is okay, Chukwuma and Chijioke, or Abdulaziz and the Olagoke, that is the persons involved in the fuel subsidy. Nobody's aware of that. What they wake up to tell us is that fuel subsidy has taken so billions, if they so wish to tell us. So it's so mysterious issues about this. So one cannot say with some level of certainty that this is what's happening now in the oil sector. Because they have caged everywhere. Okay, Dangote, why would you source from outside? We are one of the major producers of oil. So why is he sourcing from outside? That's the first question. And so now, people now say that the leadership of this country have interest. They are the ones that's producing the refined oil we're using and determining whatever. That's another part of the story. And so on. Okay, now yesterday we start hearing that Dangote have started producing. And then NNPC have rushed again and say we are going to be the only.
So buyer.
So what is going? Is that enough to tell you that there is something going on in that sector? That they don't want an average Nigerian to know. There's something going on.
So I actually wanted to ask, could that increase in pump price be attributed to that NNPC agreement, being the sole buyer from Dangote?
I wouldn't know. I told you, I'm not the group managing director of NNPC. And he has not said anything to Nigerians. How will I tell you this is the reason? Okay, how will I even tell you the reason why in 2023, 29th May, that the subsidy was removed, and so on. So they don't have reasons. They just wake up and make pronouncements, and people start suffering from that day.
Okay, so when the old minimum wage was there, things were still quite, it was difficult, of course, for most Nigerians, but it was still better than where it is now. Do you agree with some Nigerians that are saying that it's better we go back to where we were than now that we are here? Because even the agreement, from what you said, the agreement that was had was that, okay, we take 70K and then we manage what we have now. But now things have gone haywire. Do you agree with some Nigerians that we should have been there or here's better?
If you allow Nigerians, they will prefer to go back to 1983 even. Because what we are seeing today is we've never had it terrible like this. If you tell people to bring Buhari again, you will see people beating drums in the streets. People will now want Buhari to come back. So if anybody is telling you want to go back to 30,000 minimum wage, and every other thing will come back to status quo, why wouldn't you take that? It appears to be better now than what we're going. Okay, 70,000 minimum wage, fuel 1,000 something a liter. Somebody called me this morning when I was driving to this place and said, I bought fuel 40,000 naira and it didn't get to half of my time at Northwest, which you know is one of the best around. That the fuel he bought was below half tank at 40,000 naira. And believe you me, today is Thursday. By Saturday, you don't have fuel in that car.
And that's still a well-to-do person.
Yeah.
Imagine
that
somebody
can
collecting
40,000 naira
imagine
to buy
somebody
fuel at a
went,
time.
"Ah."
I see people come and say, they put 2,500, 3,000.
1,000.
So they manage themselves home and so on. So it's a lot of problems.
So what role does the international oil market play in determining pump price?
The international markets has no business with what you do in your local market.
So there is no influence.
No, what influence? No, their interest is on the crude. The oil producers, where they come together and decide how much they sell the crude, how much quota system, how much you should produce, how much to enable the people not to flood the market, to control the price and the supplies. You can't talk about local productions and supplies.
NNPC is owing the international bodies, right? And now NNPC is going to be the sole buyer from Dangote. Don't you see anything lying between
Do they want to use our money to pay their debts?
I don't know what they I think
Because
I'm even thinking locally that why they want to take Dangote is to ensure that price will not drop, that they still determine how much fuel is sold. Because if they allow Dangote to produce and sell, you see competition, and competition will always beat down the price. If you start selling 855 as they said they want to start, they have started selling. I mean NNPC, and Dangote maybe by next week say I'm selling for at 350. What do you think will happen? Would there be anything like NNPC again?
No, to crash.
It will crash. So what they want to do is to block that competition, ensure there's no competition. They continue to monopolize. They remain at that top echelon, monopolize the whole system, ensuring that once they wake up and say anything, everybody will key in. That's the area I'm looking at. It's not even what the international community is saying and their indebtedness. We will continue to be in debt.
But wait, just to ask, is there nothing like, because we know Dangote has his own filling station, can't he personally just decide to sell like that?
How many filling stations does Dangote have?
Yeah, it's true, and it's just in the north.
That's what you have to think. How many filling stations? So there's no, even if you bring 1,000 Dangotes, you may not serve Nigerians. It will take another 10 years for you to roll out, you know.
Okay. So concerning the labor now, do you think going on a strike would be one of our best move?
It's usually one of the potent tools. Because most of the time, when you go on strike, they're uncomfortable. And when the other party continue to make you uncomfortable, if you find a way of making you uncomfortable too, you go ahead to do that. It's one of the potent tools, even though we don't like it. Because if you're on strike, probably I may not be here. A lot of things may not be happening. We don't want Nigerians to continue suffering, because strike usually brings problems to the people. Places are locked down, nothing is happening, and when things are happening, you are not feeling well. And then we now decide to close up everything. But when we find out there is no other thing to do, we have to take that option and suffer it once and see if things will get better. That's why I say that the most unfortunate thing or situation we find ourselves is that these people continue to do their own thing their own way without giving us even one reason or one hope of when things will get better. No plans.
Finally, Comrade, what are your advices to the Labour Party, the Labour Union at the federal level, and of course the federal government?
There's no Labour at the federal level and federal government. Labour is Labour everywhere.
Okay.
We are one and united.
All right.
So if I'm giving advice, I'm giving advice to Nigerian Labour Congress. And that includes all of us, because if you're a worker, you're a member of the Labour.
Yes.
You know. My advice is that we've been so patient. Nigerians have suffered while we're trying to see if we'll not add to their suffering. But I have to beg Nigerians. I was happy when I read that Nigerian students, NANS, announcing 15th of this month, they're going to come out. This is what is expected long ago. When this problem we find ourselves here happening in Germany, it didn't take them 48 hours to down to everybody. They didn't wait for Labour. Labour now came to supervise and ensure that nothing happens, speaking for the people. Just like what happened on that during that
and bad governance
demonstration. Labour, it was not our program, but we were saying federal governments don't allow people. You know, this is their constitutional right. They should exercise themselves and so on and so on. So my advice to people and Nigerians and to Labour is that Nigerians should have patience. Join Labour. Everybody should come out, put hands on deck. Let's see how we salvage the situation. If you continue to wait and say Labour have not done, Labour should go on strike, Labour bring down the. You find out that when we declare strike for one day, the next day people are calling, disturbing. We are suffering already. You are multiplying our suffering and so on and so forth. When they finish tomorrow on the radio, you want to speak. They say, "Why did you stop the strike so soon?" So this is one of the challenges we've had in the recent time. You know, people will call you and say, you people should stop this thing. People are suffering already. When you stop, they say, you just so soon stop because you have compromised. So people should come together. This suffering have united all of us. I'm happy. No Muslim is buying fuel in a Muslim filling station. No Christian is buying in a Christian filling station. Nobody is buying Christian rice or Muslim rice or Muslim semo. All of us are buying the same Dangote semo and paying suffering. The fuel subsidy is gone. It didn't go for only Christians or Muslims. So the suffering have united all of us. It's no longer Christian, Muslim, this, that, or North, East, and so on and so forth. So since we have decided to come together per hunger, let us remain together and fight this hunger and this bad governance.
Thank you very much, Comrade Fabian. It was really amazing to have you here with us in the studio. Thank you for your insight. Yes, thank you so much.
Thank you, Belinda.
We're going to be going for our financial report right now. Please stay tuned. We'll see you after this.